Hi everyone, it's your lovely Lotus Blossom Lizzie, and today we're going to be doing a personal planner setup for the month of May. And I'd like to apologize for my voice. I've been a little bit sick, but I think we can get through this. So before we get started, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. And of course, I always like to remind you, even if you haven't watched the video just yet. And also, if you haven't subscribed already, you can subscribe for more videos just like this one. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. So first, we're going to go through some of the items that we're going to be using for this particular setup. I have some paper clips here that I created. And then next, what I have here is I have some dashboards that I did for the beginning. Well, they're more like, just some things to kind of bling things out in the beginning, and you'll see how that's going to roll. And then here I also made some dashboards and some dividers. And then I also made some labels to go onto those as well. And then we have some more dashboards because I don't have enough dashboards. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. And I have some sticker notes and also some routine cards, and you'll get to see all the items that are all packed up here. And then I have some note pages and also some graph paper that I'll be using for the weeklies as well. And then last, we'll have just a sticky note so that we can have the month at a glance. And of course, we have the planner that we'll be using this month, which is the Rose Gold Recollections Planner. And I've used this one before, and I really love the Recollections Planner. So let's start putting things inside the planner itself. So first, I always like to kind of take care of that secretarial pocket, and I just stick some pieces of cardstock from the kit that I'm going to be using behind or inside of the secretarial pocket itself. And that way it kind of, it'll blend in with everything else. And then these are some beautiful paper clips that I made here, and I really love the way that they came out, and I made those with my Cricut, and I think I'll be doing a video on those pretty soon. So I'm just trying to find a good way to put these in here because I didn't want them to be sticking out the top because they are a little bit big, but I still really love them and I enjoyed making them as well. So the next thing that I'm going to put in is actually going to be these lovely dividers that I made. And what I did was I made the label part out of a heart, and I really love the way they came out. I've never done that before, and so I'm definitely going to be actually enjoying those. So I'm just going to go ahead and stick those in now. And I made all of these with just ordinary cardstock. I did lots of layering, and then I laminated them, and then I put them in. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put my labels onto each one. Now, I actually redid my labels a little bit differently than I normally do them. I made the labels a little bit smaller, and they're not as, like the font is not like on that bold font where it's real dark. So I didn't know how they were going to come out. I was thinking, well, maybe I made them a little bit small because the little heart tab there is bigger than what I had been using in the past. But I have to say, these are by far my favorite dividers that I've made, and I really love the way that the labels came out on these also. So the labels that I'm using are, I have weeks, I have my digital calendar, we have future events, we have store tracking, and then we have mom's projects and must-dos. I changed my to-dos to must-dos, and then routines. So next, I'm just going to put in some dashboards that I made. And again, I just used some regular cardstock for these. And I nestled the actual dashboards right behind the dividers that I made. So for each divider, also, I actually have a dashboard also as well. So next, I'm going to put in the post-it notes because I like to kind of sprinkle post-it notes throughout the whole thing, so that way I never have to really search for the post-it notes. They're always where I can find them. So I'm using some post-it notes that I got from the dollar store. And I decided to use some repositionable tape on each one of those just at the top to give them some added stickiness so that they won't fall out. So I just took maybe about 3 or 4 sticky notes and I put them onto each dashboard. And that's something a little bit different than I've normally done also. I usually will only put sticky notes in strategic places, but now I decided to just go ahead and put them all throughout the planner itself. And I think that's going to work out well for me. And I really love the color of these particular sticky notes also, and they really match the theme. So I was really happy about that also. So after I put in these actual post-it notes, the next thing that we're going to be doing is we are going to be putting in the routine cards. Now I'm just going to lay the routine cards out here so you can kind of get a peek at them. And I had the wild idea to kind of affix my routines with staples, and actually I like the way it came out. I actually did it on my typewriter, which is my computer with a typewriter font. I wish I had one of them fancy smancy typewriters, but I don't. And so, you have to use what you have. All right, so I'm just going through and I'm putting my routine cards in their perspective spots because, my planning style is kind of same, but different. So I usually have things in the same spots. So now I'm just going to take some note pages and put them in some strategic spots as well. And this was just a notepad that I got from Michael's. I cut the bottom of it off, punched some holes in, and that's what I'll be using kind of as some inserts. So I put some in the future events section, my mom's project sections, and then my must do sections. Now I actually counted the graph paper that I needed, and I'm going to put down that May sticker, and it was kind of really sticking. It was on one of those cheapo depot pads that I got, and so I just used some undo to kind of get it up off of there so I didn't rip it up, and that worked really perfectly. But I still went in and I put some washi tape on it because it was kind of lifting up on the edges. So that's a great way to have like the month at a glance without having a formal insert per se. And that really works for me as well. Because I didn't do that at first when I was using the personal planners, and I found that I did need the month at a glance. So that was a quick way for me to get it in there. So I just showed you the washi tapes that I'm going to be using for the actual weekly layouts because I always like to kind of pre-do things ahead of time to save myself some time during the week. So I'm putting down the washi tapes onto the graph paper to make my weeklies. So again, this is a great budget-friendly way to really kind of spruce up your planner in a low-budget kind of way. I hate to say cheap because cheap is such a strong word. It's an inexpensive way to have, some inserts and bring some color into your planner also. So I love using the washis, and I've said almost in every video, this is the year of using washi because, y'all, I have so much washi. I wouldn't say it's ridiculous. I love my washi collection, but I try not to hoard my washi, and I've been using it very often now in many of my planners, so it's really working out well for me. So, and I really like using the skinny washi for this because you still want to have some room to actually do some planning when it comes to using your personal planner because space is already so limited already. So you probably have seen this washi before in a different plan with me, and that's because I just love it so much. I wanted to use it again, and so it looks so lovely. I can't wait to actually do the planning on here, and I'm actually going to be doing having some vacation time this month, so there's going to be some weeks where I probably won't be doing any planning at all. I'll probably be doing more of a plan as I go type of thing. So for a few of the weeks in May, what you'll be seeing is like some after the fact planning where I go in and just kind of put in what I did because I'll actually be on vacation, which is going to be very nice. So this is the last page that I'm going to be doing here. And I've used this color before as well, but again, I still love it so much. I love using the different type of washes in my planners. It forces you to be creative, that's for sure. So now the next thing that I wanted to do is kind of transfer some things over from the last month's planner, as you can see here. So I'm getting out my store list and also some of my bookmarks. I took those out, and I know that I need to transpose some notes from my mom's to-do list, and I took the ink pens out as well. So with the ink pens, again, I'm using the stylus that I got from the Dollar Tree. They work just perfectly. They're great pens. And also they have that little stylus point at the end, which is great when you have to write something, when you have to sign your name on one of those pads that everybody's been touching, because I hate that. And that's probably why I'm sick right now. And so I definitely recommend getting those. So now I'm just kind of just transferring some information over from my mom's list. Now, of course, I could just put the old list in. If you're crunched for time, you don't have to like reinvent the wheel like I'm doing. But I usually like for my note pages to kind of match a little bit. So I went through my store list also, and I put everything in there. I ticked some things off and put some things on to the store list as well. And then I put that back in there also. So now I'm just kind of just tidying things up, and I just wanted to kind of do a little bit of a flip through for you so you can see how everything came together. And I have to say, y'all, I've just been like just flipping through this because this is the most beautiful layout that I've done or setup that I've done for the personal planners. And again, I love the Recollections planners so much. And I haven't bought any new ones lately, which is good because you can use what you have. And I found just using these over and over again just really works for me. So if you enjoyed this video, please make sure that you give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. And if you have, I just wanted to say thank you. So with that, I'm going to say love, peace, and hair grease from your sweet lotus blossom and lovable Lizzie. Have a fantabulous day and enjoy life.